The human voice is a powerful instrument that has the ability to convey an array of sounds. Undoubtedly, it's better than any violin, any piano, any guitar, any cello. The range, capacity, pitch, and tone, each voice is completely unique. The most individualized sound is the human voice. What do you do with your voice? Because the truth is, it can work for you or it can work against you. It can tear people down or bring people up. It can empower or it can destroy. It does say in the Bible, after all, that life and death are in the power of the tongue. So learning to speak up and use your voice is so important, but most importantly, how to use your voice in a positive way so that it can help you to achieve all that you want to in your life. So we're going to talk about why we should speak up and use our voices. What potentially could block us from being able to speak up and use our voices the way that we actually desire to. And then we're also going to talk about how we can go on and speak up, use our voice in the best way that can help us and help others too. Why should we learn to use our voice? Why is it so important that we learn to speak up and use this voice, this instrument that God has given us? Speaking up and using your voice is how you attract and attain everything that you want in your life. And this relates to both how you speak to yourself and how you speak to others. What comes out of your mouth really determines whether you can actually attain success and fulfillment in life. It's how you get what you want. So this is why it's so important to learn how to speak up and use the voice that we have. The voice is used to attract money. It's used for which we can also attract love and attract opportunities. We're able to connect with other people, communicate ideas to other people, concepts, things that can help others, enlighten others, and expand us as people. And this is how we're able to actually attract money, love, opportunities, and amazing experiences through using our voice to share things with others and also connect. Our voice is a channel where God can speak through us and we can receive messages, downloads, and that can help others too. So essentially the voice and speaking up helps us to get what we want in life through speaking out and also through the internal voice too. But mainly it allows us to attract, to connect, and to help other people. So what are some of the reasons why we struggle to use our voice? Because often we can struggle. It can be hard for us to do. And we struggle to use our voice. We struggle to speak up. So what are the reasons why our voice chakra might actually be blocked and we're struggling to use it in the best way? Some of the reasons are being shamed, judged for speaking up in the past. So this could have been when we were children, our parents, other people who are older than us could have shamed us or judged us or put fear in us when we said something, and that from then on, we weren't as expressive because of that initial situation, which caused us to feel like, you know what, I can't speak up. As children, that's how we naturally react. We get an initial reaction from a situation where we spoke up. We were shamed, we were judged. And from then on, we were no longer able to speak up in the same way and use our voice the way we were meant to use it. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. We are social creatures who thrive on connection. So when we are put down, shamed, or judged for something we've said in the past, naturally we have a fear of, oh my God, I'm going to be disliked, I'm going to be rejected. So for that reason, we are not as expressive. We don't use our voice in the way that we should. We have our voice for expression, for freedom of expression. So we should be using it in that way. But unfortunately, situations in the past do cause us to have a blocked throat chakra and we can't express ourselves to the fullest ability. And this also links to being self-conscious. So being self-conscious blocks us from speaking up and using our voice a lot. And it, again, all links back to previous experiences, most likely. Experiences that we had when we were younger do actually shape us and how we show up in the future until we choose to change it. Carrying shame helps us to be self-conscious because we're holding shame in us. Because of the experience that we've had, we care a lot about what other people think, and that we carry that with us, and it doesn't allow us to speak fully and have the full freedom of expression that we should have with the voice that we have and the voice that God has given us. So now we've delved into why sometimes we struggle to speak up and use our voices. How can we now speak up and use our voices? What are the ways, the mindsets, and the mechanisms that we can use to help us to speak up and use our voice and empower ourselves? How can we move forward from any previous experiences we've had where we have been shamed, judged, and we have fear in us that is holding us back from being free? I'm going to talk about 3 steps, 3 points that we can take with us on how to speak up and use our voices. Step one is let go of fear, shame, and judgment. And how we do this is by realizing that it's all in our head. So when it comes to fear, there's 2 aspects of fear. There's the realized and there's unrealized fear. So when we talk about the realized fear, this is the previous experiences that I spoke about earlier, where something has happened in our past, where we now hold that fear with us in the present, even though it happened in the past. So because of that, we don't act fully in the present because of the past. It's not based on a present situation. So that was the realized fear that I just talked about. The unrealized fear is the fear where nothing has actually happened in your past and you still have a fear of it. Maybe it's because of you've seen other people experience something and it's put a fear in you of speaking up, or you're just a bit anxious, and you have kind of scenarios in your head that kind of stop you from really speaking up. It's all in our head. It's all in our head. So when we're in a moment and we want to speak up, we need to remember that we can't let the past hold us back in the present. So if something has happened in the past where we've been shamed, fear has been put onto us, and we've been judged in the past for how we've spoken up, in the present, we let go of that past experience and we say, now I choose to speak up despite what's happened in the past. We just have to embrace that. We have to embrace the new opportunity and live in the present moment, because what we're doing by holding on to realized fear and past experiences is we're living in the past. We're not living in the now. So if we live in the now, we can actually focus on being present and be like, yes, in the present moment, it's okay for me to speak because I don't have the people who caused me to feel previous experiences of fear, shame, or judgment. They're not with me right now in this moment. So right now I can choose to express myself fully and speak up and use my voice. If they are with you in that moment, then you can again choose that, okay, I'm in the present moment. This is a new me. So I can choose now that I'm gonna speak up, use my voice, and overcome this fear, overcome this shame, and overcome this judgment that I've had in the past. So that's what we have to do. So we just basically have to be very present. So being present, letting go of fear, letting go of shame, letting go of judgment, that can really help us to actually speak up. We just have to let go and be present. I'm also forgetting about any anxieties or scenarios that we have in our head that haven't actually been realized, and realizing that every moment is an opportunity to create a new experience and reprogram our mind and expand it beyond our previous experiences. Every experience has 2 sides of the coin. And normally when we're focused on the fear, the shame, the judgment, we are focused on the negatives. But what we have to do is focus on the positive aspects of speaking up. We're focusing on the negative aspects of speaking up. So if I speak up, I'm gonna be shamed, I'm gonna be judged, I have the fear of abandonment and the fear of neglect. But we need to focus on the positive sides of speaking up, which is, who can I impact? How can this expression fulfill me more? How can I be self-actualized by speaking up? How can I overcome all my past fears and self-consciousness and shame? We need to focus on the positive aspects of speaking up, and that helps us to let go even more when we choose in that moment to see the positives and not see the negatives of, oh, let me not do that. This links to having an abundant mindset, because when we're focused on the negatives, we're thinking about, oh my God, if I speak up, this is what's going to happen. We're looking at the lack, we're looking at the what if, we're looking at the worst case scenarios. We need to start looking at the best case scenarios of every situation and thinking, look at the opportunities that could come my way, look at the people I could impact, look at the freedom of expression, the self-actualization, all the positive things that can come out of actually speaking up and using my voice fullest and in its entirety and in the widest form that I can. That's how we have to see it. So summary of point number 1 is letting go of fear, shame, and judgment. And that's through realizing it's all in our head, choosing to be present in the current moment, overcoming any past experiences, and then focusing on the positives, focusing on the positive side of speaking out rather than focusing on the negative side of any potential negative, because they're not actual negatives, they're negatives that are in our head, they're just potentials, they're not actualized. And even if they have been realized in the past, in each present moment is unique and new. So with each new moment, we have to see the positives of that new moment rather than seeing the negatives of that new moment based on past experiences. Every moment is completely new. Every experience, every interaction, every opportunity is new and unique. So we have to see it like that and choose to take on the positive aspects of that experience rather than focusing on the negatives of that. Because that's only going to keep us back, hold us back, and keep us in our old identity. And we're trying to evolve into a new, conscious and empowered, in our voice and in our power identity. So we have to just evolve past experiences. So that was point number 1. Point number 2 on how we can speak up and use our voice and how we can really tap into the voice chakra and this powerful instrument that we've been given. Discovering your passion and tapping into the emotion of that. Let the emotion of your passion, your purpose, and what you want to say really drive you to overcome any fear of being disliked and fear of speaking up. Emotion is very powerful. Emotion moves mountains. Emotions is what really helps us to achieve a lot in life when we have an emotion that drives us. When you look at a lot of entrepreneurs and when you look at a lot of successful people, a lot of them, they have strong emotions that have driven them to where they are, and it comes from deep passion. So passion overcomes all fear, overcomes all obstacles. So find your passion, discover your passion, and then tap into the emotion of that. Use that emotion to take action and use that emotion to speak up. When you have something passionate to say, when you found your passion, when you know your passion and you're talking about that passion, you will just speak. You will just speak because it just comes naturally. You can't help yourself. The emotion is so strong. Tap into emotions that can allow you to really be like, wow, okay, I need to speak up. I just have to speak up. Nothing will stop me from speaking up in this moment because I'm passionate about this. I love this. This is my purpose. This is why I'm here. I'm here to speak about this. So find your purpose, discover your passion, use the emotion that passion, that purpose brings, and use that to speak up and use your voice. Having a strong message also helps. Tap into the emotion. So when you want to speak up and you feel a sense of fear or judgment or shame or any kind of feeling you might feel that has stopped you in the past from speaking up, tap into the opposite. What am I really passionate about? What do I desire? What is my burning desire that I would tap into till my last breath? What is that? And then remember that, hold that emotion, that deep passion, that deep love, that desire, that drive. Tap into that emotion and use that to speak up. So remember the emotion and use it in times where you feel emotions of fear. So that will really help. So that's point number 2, which is discover your passion and use that to speak up. Use the emotion. Let the emotion drive you. Emotion drives everything. Emotion helps us to take action. So we should use emotion to help us take action and help us speak up. And one thing about speaking up as well, like your voice carries emotion. It carries the tone, the pitch. How we convey messages is through emotion. So when we tap into emotion, we can actually reach the people we want to reach, and we can actually get that message across, and the message will get to the people who it needs to get to. Emotion is everything. Tap into the emotion, and the emotion always helps you to overcome. So just, in the moment, tap into the right emotion, and it will just get you to speak up. But it all again links to being present in the moment, because it's going to be hard for you to tap into an emotion that you want to tap into. The positive emotion, the drive, the passion, the desire, the love, the strong emotions you want to tap into to speak up. When you're feeling fear, you have to be present to be able to do that. And you have to understand, okay, I'm feeling fear. Now I'm going to tap into positive emotions and use that to overcome and speak up. Point number 3, we're going to get into some opening techniques. What techniques can we use to open our voice? How can we open our voice? How can we use this voice so that the voice can work for us? There's 3 points I'm going to talk about within this third point. Singing in the shower and singing in the car. Whenever you're alone, you can do this with people around you as well, but you can start with doing it alone. Singing in the shower. So you can do that. Sing in the shower, express yourself. Sing in the car, have a carpool. Blast your music and sing along at the top of your lungs. Let your lungs have their use. Let your voice get its use. That really helps with using your voice and learning how to speak up. The more you expand and exhaust the capacity of your voice, because one thing is true, we never exhaust the capacity that our voice has. This is one thing that singers really do really well. They have vocal coaches, and they tap into their range. They even expand it because they use it so well. So singing is a beautiful way to expand that voice to speak up, because the more you use it, the more you want to use it. It's just a cycle. It keeps getting better. So sing, sing, sing. If you don't want to sing with other people around, sing alone and sing at the top of your lungs. To sing loud, belt. And that will really help you to open up your voice and unlock anything that's blocking the throat chakra. Also humming. So the second point is humming. Humming is beautiful. Like, I love humming. It actually opens up your airways. It opens them up. It activates your vagus nerve, and then it also calms and relaxes you. It actually regulates your nervous system. So there's many benefits to humming. Opens up the voice, unblocks it, and calms you down. Regulates your nervous system. So humming is a really good way for you to just open up that voice, unblock anything that's causing you to not want to speak up, and use your precious, unique, and powerful voice. And then the third technique I have for how we can speak up and use our voice is by practicing speaking up in the moment. So what I mean by this is saying what's on your mind when things come to your mind. The truth is, speaking up is a muscle. We have to practice it. So when you're in situations, connections, experiences, conversations, and something comes to your mind, you need to practice speaking up. Practice saying what's on your mind. Practice connecting your mind to your mouth. It's mind-mouth coordination, which you have to practice over time. Because sometimes if we have disconnected our mouth and our throat from our mind, we can think a lot, but it doesn't get out. It just stays within us. And what if that could help somebody else? So we should want to connect and reconnect our mind to our mouth so it can flow, and the flow can be very smooth. Practicing when something comes to your head, obviously we don't want to be saying anything. We're being mindful here, but when something comes to your head, you let it out. You say it out. You don't block yourself with your mind. When it comes to your mind, you think, this is a great idea that I could share with people. You have to get it out. Let it out. And that comes through practice. So you practice. It's a muscle. You got to use it. So it needs to be trained. It needs to be trained like a muscle. When you go to the gym, you train it. It gets stronger. It gets better. So train your mind-mouth, mind-throat connection so that you can actually flow. So when you speak, it flows. When something comes to your mind, it comes right out of you, and you can now express yourself fully. Practice in everyday life. Family, with friends, with everybody. Just practice speaking your mind and speaking what's on your mind. And a step further than this, is a technique I saw on one of the episodes of Diary of a CEO, the podcast by Stephen Bartlett. It's a great podcast. One of the episodes, he was interviewing the guy who owns the YouTube channel Charisma on Command. Basically, the advice he was giving with that, with speaking up, is always add one more sentence. So when you're speaking up, add another sentence to what you're saying. So try and speak more. It's just a challenge. So set yourself the challenge of speaking more so that you can speak up more. So that will again help to connect and reinforce the new connections that you're building between your mind and your mouth. So just it's practice. It's practice. Practice speaking. Practice when things come to your mouth, say them, and then practice saying more as well as what just comes to your mind. Like just keep it rolling. When things come, say them, and think of more things to say too. So that will really help you to speak up, to use your voice in the best way. So yeah, that's it really. Just to summarize the 3 points that I said. So letting go of fear and judgment is how we can speak up and use our voice. This comes through realizing that a lot of the fear is in our mind. A lot of it is all in our head, and we can choose to move past it, be present and speak up, and also focus on the good of the situation in the present rather than focusing on the bad and focusing on the fear and the what if of the negative. Let's focus on the what if of the positives. Who can we impact? What amazing things can we experience from simply speaking up and simply choosing to use our voice in the best way that we can. And then discover our passion. So when we have a message, when we have passion, when we have emotion, it really helps us to overcome fear. So being present, as I said in the past one, and then overcoming fear with emotion. So tap into your positive emotions in the moment and then use those emotions to take action, to speak up and to use your voice. But that it's all links to having a strong message, having a strong purpose, being passionate, finding what you're passionate about, and then being in those spaces. Like be in the passionate spaces. Like if you love art, be in art spaces. If you love fashion, be in fashion spaces. And in those spaces, because you're passionate, you will naturally speak more. You will naturally want to use your voice to share. So yeah, tap into passion, tap into emotion, and that will really help. And then the last one was opening techniques. Open your voice, open your throat chakra through singing, humming, and then practice your mind-mouth connection. Create those new neural pathways in your mind by practice speaking. When things come to your mind, say them. Let that flow become fluent, and you're really gonna start to build up your voice and using your voice, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing, and you're gonna start to feel really good because you're like, wow, I can use my voice. My voice is powerful and it's worthy. We've all been given a voice, and you've been given a voice for a reason, and you need to use it. We all have a voice, and it's our duty, it's our responsibility to use the voice that we've been given. So if you have watched this video today, I hope that you've been able to realize that your voice is valuable, it's very unique. Only you can speak from your body, only you. Your body is just one of one. Your DNA is one in ability, like you're one of one. There's no other one like you. There's no other voice like yours. There's no other mind like yours that can think of things, to use your voice to say. So your voice is powerful and you need to use your voice. So I'm here to say, use your voice. I'm here to say, speak up and use it. For me, for years, I had crippling shyness and I could not use my voice. I couldn't. I even get emotional thinking about it. I couldn't use my voice. I was almost so quiet, I couldn't speak. So me shooting this video today is me overcoming my fear of speaking up and using my voice. And I encourage you and challenge you all to do the same in whatever way you can, even if it's in everyday experiences, interactions, speaking up more, sharing more with the world, sharing your light, because you have so much light to give. We all have so much light to give. Sharing that is really what can transform the world. And sometimes as souls, this is our mission to overcome, speaking up. If we've been shamed, if we've been judged or made to feel fearful for speaking up, it's because really there's something that is within us that we need to share. It's just the overcoming process. So we have to overcome to become that person we're meant to be, so our soul can really shine. So the voice is a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. It's just amazing. And so yeah, I encourage you to just continue to speak up in whatever way you can. Continue to be a light. It doesn't even have to be verbal. It can be written. You can write something. It's coming from your mind. It is part of your voice. There's so many ways that we can channel us out. It can be verbal through our voice. It can be written. It can be through art. Art is still an expression, and it is the voice. Use your true and full freedom of expression, and you're going to feel fulfilled as a result. You're going to feel joy, happiness, peace, love, and your soul will feel like it's fulfilling its mission on this earth, because all our souls have a mission on this earth and we must fulfill it. It's our duty. I've got some affirmations that we can say regarding our voice to help us to really embody this new mindset and approach and state we're going to be in moving forward. We're in a state where we speak up and we use our voice. I claim and honor my true voice. I express myself with clarity and confidence. My voice, my words, my ideas all matter. I embrace creativity as it flows in and through me. I am able to clearly state my needs and I am heard. I live an honest and authentic life. So these are some affirmations that we can remember, say to ourselves to make ourselves know that our voice is heard. We matter, we can speak, we can use this voice because it is valuable, powerful, and unique. And for that reason, we can do the world a service by sharing our uniqueness through our voice. So I encourage you all to embark on the journey of speaking up, using your voice in every way possible. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you got something amazing from this and I hope you're having a great day today. As always, follow your purpose, be a light in this world, and I'm sending you lots of love and peace.